Good afternoon. Today is the 16th of July and I've got a first world problem. It looks as if some nice person from MG has dropped me off a brand new 2019 MG3 1.5 exclusive. The dog next door is not very keen on it, but seems to be something which could be quite useful. As you can see, I've got both my lady wife's car and the 2019 model parked right next door to each other, so you can see the differences. One of the things that you'll be aware of is the exterior styling has had a few tweaks from the original, which was launched in this country at least in 2013. One of the things you'll see immediately is that the LED daytime running lights on the earlier model have now been incorporated into the main headlights, and we have what's called the Star Rider grille at the front, which is also shared with the MG ZS, as is the design of the headlights. You still don't get front fog lights on any MG3, but there are a number of upgrades over the earlier Freestyle model. These are actually comparable because the Style was the top of the range car back in 2014. There was a Lux, or later a Plus option pack, which gave you things like leather seats and sat nav if you wanted them, but the exclusive is the top of the range car for 2019. And in this video we're going to walk around both the cars and we'll see the difference between them. I've now got a bit of a first world problem because I've got two MG3 keys here. They're both silver, although this one clearly is from MG themselves. It says safety fast on them, which is the old MG slogan used, I think, back in the sort of 30s or something. And then we've got my lovely key ring here, which actually has a sort of Avengers tyre logo on there. There's Emma Peel and Tara King. So I think we'll look in the old car first, and we'll start in the back. Both keys operate exactly the same way. One of the things you'll notice straight away, oh sorry about my fingers there, is that this car's got a white parcel shelf. Just so you can see there, that parcel shelf is white. Also, I have my obligatory Avengers branded goods in the boot. And we have this is the sort of tray you get with an MG3 is standard. That will fit a spare wheel in there, but this one doesn't have one. Let's walk round a little bit further and look at this rear diffuser. You'll see that that's the shape of the earlier ones, and then as well at the top there's the shape of the rear spoiler. In the back, the seats have this interesting kind of trim on them. I've always thought this is unusual. All MG3s pre the 2018 facelift look like this and have this sort of red stitching everywhere, which matches the mats, and you get two mat pockets in the rear. You also get, given this is the style, you get the electric windows in the back. The door handles are like this. They do feel a little bit cheap, but this was a cheap car. I've never had any problems in braking in 60,000 miles, so there we go. The front looks like this. The dials are the same in both cars actually. The stalks look the same, although the ones in the newer car are slightly better in terms of being pressed. Being a Style, this has cruise control, and that's what the switches on the door look like for the driver. One of the things that you'll see in the centre console is this now rather dated looking radio unit. This was fine for the time and for the price, but it has now been changed. There's the heater and ventilation controls. Most people who drive these cars complain about that, and they are very fiddly to use. The locking buttons are incorporated at the bottom of the row there. 12-volt socket and the hazard light warning switches here, which I've never understood. I don't think it's a great place for it. You do, however, get these nice cup holders, and you get the USB and aux-in sockets there. Trust me, they are there, in this huge sort of lidded storage compartment at the top. The glove box is absolutely massive in a pre-facelift MG3. There's lots of bits and pieces in there and secret mission documents. And the door bins are a fairly decent size as well. So that's really most of what there is to talk about in the interior. Let's pop the bonnet and take a look under there now. Do bear in mind that this car is 5 years old and has done 60,000 miles, so it's not going to look new under here, and of course it doesn't. One of the things I don't like is the old sort of Rover K series style fuel filler cap. That is a pain to remove. I normally have to get assistance to taking that off. And also the coolant reservoir is right down here. I don't know if you can even see this. Yeah, there's the coolant reservoir. You probably can't even see the level. Oh, there you are. I think you can see the level on there. But that's how you check the coolant level on a pre-facelift MG3. It's not the most kind of convenient place to have it. As you'll see in the facelifted car, that's been addressed. Also, this is what the alloy wheels look like on an MG3 style, pre-2018 facelift. Of course, you've got optional alligator fitters to this because we like to protect them. One of the other things I'll just show you quickly is the fact that the mirrors on an MG3 were not converted from right to left-hand drive, from left to right-hand drive. So we use these little mirror extensions which help you to see the curb. Very useful. But yeah, overall, that's what my lady wife's 2014 MG3 style looks like. Right, I've got my safety fast key fob here, so this must be for the brand new one. It's done about 2,000 miles. So let's open this one up and let's start by taking a look in the boot. The boot handle is in a completely different place from the pre-facelift cars. It's no longer underneath the MG badge, it's sort of right down here. There's the mechanism for it. In a boot, oh, there's an ice cream van in the back of there. I don't know if this could pick up in the camera because I've got some funny lighting today, but the boot has kind of like a, oh, that's okay. There's like a tray in the bottom of there. I don't have sort of random things in this boot, so it's all clean and tidy. And there's the hazard warning triangle. That's a very important thing. The parcel shelf in this car is actually a different colour. You see it's black. The pre-facelift cars, it is white. This is black. And so are the kind of surrounding bits of plastic. They're black and not white. If I close the boot, you see again down there, there's where you open the boot, not just below the MG badge, which has been increased. The rear spoiler is actually different on this car as well. Given this the exclusive, this is a top of the range car and not all of the trims have this rear spoiler. Look down here as well, see another difference, and that is the reversing camera, which I'm not sure is coming up very well on my screen, but yeah, I think you can just about see that. And the rear diffuser is a different shape under here as well. I don't know if you can see that, that's difficult to see for me as well. The alloy wheels are completely different. These are the same on the Excited exclusive trim levels. In the back, door cards entirely different. They've actually got rid of the rear door pockets. It is a more cohesive design. The handles are different. They feel nicer. The quality of the plastic does feel better. The fabric is sort of part leather actually, and it feels generally a bit high quality. It's not so sort of experimental, which you know, might be, might not be something which you care about depending on your point of view. If you go round to the front, you'll see everything has been different in here. No longer do you have door lock buttons down by the heater controls, they're up here by the door handle, which makes sense. These window switches are completely different as well. The steering wheel, this is now out of the MG ZS and it feels much nicer to hold. The other one's actually not that bad, but this one is definitely better. This being the exclusive model, you do still get cruise control and the controls for the multimedia system. Let's pull the door open a little bit wider so I can get in. The mirror adjustment's been moved down here. Didn't need to move that particularly, but it's there and it looks a bit of a nicer quality switch. Just at the end of this stalk here, and I was looking the same, but actually when I've been cycling through the different things, that's been easier for me to use. I'll just turn the car on quickly and we'll have a look at the infotainment system, because unlike the one in my lady wife's car, this is very nice. This car's got a reversing camera, it's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Bluetooth like the other one and a DAB radio. But you see the controls are very simple to operate here. They remind me of an iPhone. I'll make sure that we don't have that on. Of course, this car's got tire pressure monitoring. It's easier to use that system than in the pre-facelift car. You see my phone's connected easily. The USB port is now down here, and so the 12-volt socket. That's more sort of where you'd expect to find it. Let me just turn down Sean Foyt there. SRC button, easy to switch between different sources for the radio and whatever. I would show you Apple CarPlay, but I haven't got an Apple phone, so I can't. This car is also fitted with stop-start, which only the post-September 2015 MG3 models were before the facelift. It has a warning light switch, is a completely different place, which is wonderful. The gear shift feels considerably better. I know it's probably a similar thing underneath, but it feels better because the knob is different. As you can see, there's no kind of has a warning light switches or anything down here anymore, just a cup holder, although you do only get sort of one here, and there's a funny square thing there where the other one was, so I don't know what's happened there. The dashboard itself, the dials are exactly the same. They work in the same way, which is fine. You know, it's not a big problem. In the glove box, that isn't as big as the pre-facelift car. I'm not really sure why, but it's not too bad. There's bits of sort of, I suppose, faux carbon fibre and sort of like a sort of Burberry kind of check thing going on here, which it looks okay. It's probably not entirely to my taste, but it's certainly probably better than what was there before. I do like these round ventilation things here, though. They are very nice. Right, well, let's take a look under the bonnet and we'll see what differences are there too. This car's only done 2,000 miles from new, so the engine bay is a lot cleaner. This is a Euro 6 compliant engine, which the previous car is not. It is fitted with stop-start, but it is a 1.5 normally aspirated engine with variable valve timing, developing 105 horsepower. It's a 4-cylinder unit, and you can see the oil filler cap has been changed, which is really nice. I can probably twist that off right now. Yes, I can. Brilliant. Dipstick is slightly different as well, and the coolant reservoir has been moved to here. That's a much better place for it. Much better, much easier to see. So they've made the underbody accessibility much better, and the car will subsequently be a little bit easier to service for most people. Yes, very nice indeed. It's worth pointing out now that I have a walk around of a post-facelift MG3 1.5 exclusive. It was like this one, but it was red, that I filmed at a dealership local to me in January, and I'll link to that in the description below. Also, I will link to the full review which we recorded last September of my lady wife's 2014 MG3 style. So you can watch that too in preparation for a full review on the 2019 model car. This will be filmed in conjunction with Matt Richardson from Furious Driving. We'll be filming that on Thursday, and that should be available very soon. Both Matt and I have driven my lady wife's car, and his review came out last month, and we're both very keen to compare and contrast the two. So expect 2 reviews of this particular car to be coming up very shortly. Just remains for me to say thank you very much indeed for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates on the week that I have with this wonderful 2019 MG3 1.5 exclusive, and obviously a lot more content. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that, to like this video, to comment below, and of course to visit my website, which is www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk. If you wish me to source a car for you, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a very nice MG, or it could be, I suppose. Thank you very much indeed for watching.